In the Rockies' 30-year existence, they have never won the division, not one time. Being a Rockies fan is like being stuck in a toxic relationship that you literally just won't leave. Rockies fans are some of the most loyal in all of MLB. For instance, they lost 100 games in 2023, the most in franchise history, but for whatever reason, those psychotic fans still packed the ballpark. They were ranked at number 14 in attendance, right behind the Angels, the Red Sox, and the Mets. Colorado deserves to have a winning team, and they've deserved to have that for a long time, but they have been ruined by bad ownership their entire existence. When the team was brought into MLB back in 1993, the Monfort brothers owned the team. They've owned the team since then, and they've had a reputation of being very bad for the Rockies. Specifically in 2011 is when Dick Monfort got full control of the Colorado Rockies. Having started the team, he's been a mega fan ever since because, the guy's been involved with that family, and now that he has so much power, he definitely does use it. In reality, these decisions have been awful, and it has been the reason why they've been losing. They've either been mid or they've been losers pretty much every single year. But in the 2010s, they finally started to add some talent. The lifelong Rocky Charlie Blackmon made his debut in 2011, and he turned into a great player. DJ LeMahieu, he debuted in 2012. Nolan Arenado, he debuted in 2013. Then we saw Trevor Story in 2016. All of these players eventually became superstars at some point in their career, with LeMahieu, Story, and Arenado giving some of the best defense in MLB and some of the best bats. You would have thought that they would have won something. All of these players were under team control for quite some time. Typically, whenever you have talent like this, you should build around them. That's usually the philosophy that teams do. But the Rockies just kind of sat by and they did nothing. They ended up making the playoffs twice and they got eliminated twice. After their contracts were set to expire, Colorado made a few really stupid decisions. They didn't make the postseason in 2019, and they let DJ LeMahieu walk in free agency after that season. But after the 2020 season, they had tough decisions to go and make. The team's best player, Nolan Arenado, was under contract until the end of 2027. He had signed a massive extension, but only 1 year later, he just didn't want to be a Rocky. The team was losing year in and year out, and he knew that his best option was to go and get out of Colorado. The team owner, Dick Monfort, was in disbelief. In the end, Arenado got his wish and he was sent to the Cardinals. To say that this was a bad trade would be a massive understatement. This was quickly known as one of the worst trades in MLB history. Not only did they get a terrible return for Arenado, but they got 5 mid-tier prospects at best. How are you going to trade the face of the franchise and not get anything valuable? The owner of the team, Dick Monfort, is the one who actually made this trade happen, and he has said multiple times that he was not confident in this trade going into it. He said that he's had many sleepless nights about this trade. He also said, and to be quite honest, there were 10 times over the last 2 weeks where I didn't think that the St. Louis deal made any sense. So if you didn't think it made any sense, why did you do it? At that point, it's just trading him just to trade him. I think at the same time, the owner knew that. He was asked if he thought about firing his GM. He said no, but I've thought about firing myself. Which, no Rocky fan would actually complain if he did fire himself. And, not only was that trade awful, but they also sent $51 million to St. Louis in that trade. This is a total embarrassment for Rockies fans and for the state of Colorado. Again, they pack every single game, every single night. Even though they lose, they don't get anything in return, but they show up. After 2021, they were losing Trevor Story. This time, not a trade, and instead they just let him walk in free agency. If they had to give up LeMahieu, Arenado, and Story, imagine that they actually rebuilt the farm system instead of getting absolutely nothing for them. The ownership never has a true direction. They never rebuild, but they always lose. They never actually win. Monfort knows that he's bad for the team. He was asked in a press conference if he would consider selling the team. He responded, "You would like that, wouldn't you?" Well, yeah, fans would definitely like that. This guy knows that he's bad for the Rockies, yet he just continues to make decisions for them, and it all goes back to he has power, so why not go ahead and use that power? Going into the 2022 season, it was a March day and fans were expecting to not be that great that year. The Rockies were finally going full throttle on a rebuild. It took a long time, but it was happening. Until they made the stupid decision to sign Kris Bryant to a 7-year deal worth $182 million. Again, another decision that just didn't make sense to the majority of Rockies fans. The team had little to no talent and looked like a losing team. After signing him, they didn't make any other moves. So pretty Pretty much they just had one superstar on the team, and then they had no one around him. What were they doing? In his 2 seasons, he's only had 460 at-bats, and he has not been a superstar. He's been an injury machine who has not performed up to expectations. They shouldn't have ever signed him to begin with for the fact that they were on a rebuilding team, losing 94 in 2022 and losing 103 in 2023. Why did they sign him? And the reason is they wanted fans to come to Coors Field. They wanted fans to have a superstar to watch, even if they were going to be losers. Just like most ownerships in this sport, money is the #1 priority. Getting fans to watch a losing team, that was the priority so they could make money. After 2023, I do think that the Rockies have potential. They have young players rising on this team as we speak. We could see the offense do actually fairly well next year playing in Coors Field, but they have a big pitching problem. Not only do they play in Coors, but their best ERA last season in the rotation was a 5.03 ERA. Young prospects are exciting, but what does it matter when you have an ownership that will blow it all anyway, and you have 0 solid pitching prospects in the system? Well, in November, the Rockies made an attempt at a starting pitcher. This was an MLB level pitcher with Cal Quantrill. Now, Quantrill was once a beast back in 2022, but his 2023 was dreadful. That's not to say that he can't rebound. We see plenty of pitchers rebound every year, but rebounding at Coors Field as a contact pitcher, it's just simply very unrealistic, especially for a team that hasn't actually developed or fixed a pitcher in a very long time. So how is Quantrill going to be any different? How are they going to go ahead and fix him? Colorado made it clear that the main objective for Cal is to be an innings guy. Go and eat innings and go deep into games. Even if he did have a 5.24 ERA like he did in 2023, he would likely have a rotation spot. That's how bad it is. This ownership will forever haunt the Rockies until the team is sold someday. That's at least the goal. The ownership being sold would make every Rockies fan's day. But until that day, Rockies fans are doomed. Coors Field overall has all the potential in the world to host a winning organization. It's so unique because the offense that you can put up there is just unreal with the elevation at that stadium. Great attendance, a good team, beautiful stadium. This is what Colorado deserves, except they also deserve winning. It'll be another year of losing in 2024, but there are at least bright spots. Even with those few bright spots, are we going to ignore the division? Every team has improved in this offseason outside of the Rockies in that division. Again, they're in a rebuild. That's a good thing that they are at least embracing it. But this division is going to be competitive for a long time. The Dodgers are spending the amount of money that they are. Yeah, they're going to be tough to beat. The Padres building a great rotation and bullpen for their future. Plus the Giants are spending money and they're attempting to go out and land more free agents. Plus the D-backs coming off of a World Series loss. They're only getting better. They have only added talent. This team just does not stand a chance, not even at all, in 2024 and beyond. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.